What's up, everybody? It's Man of Low Moral Fiber here. My name's Luke, and today I'm going to try to kill Pyro Pete, the Ultra Invincible, at Overpower level 8, using the Crit, which is a very unique SMG. It actually has kind of three different special effects. One, it has an increased critical hit damage modifier, as its name would imply. Second, it's obviously a Moxxi weapon, so it will provide us with good healing. And third, its red text says slippery when wet, which actually lets you know that this gun might slip out of your hands, and it does. Not incredibly often, but pretty often, and you'll probably notice it drop from my hands multiple times during this fight, and that's why I brought more than one along. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. I'm going to put on my Alkaline B shield to start the fight, and then we'll use the Trespasser to knock off Pyro Pete's face shield. Now, I've never really used this weapon because the novelty effect makes it a little bit difficult to use. However, I do know that it is pretty strong with that increased critical hit multiplier, and the fact that it is always shock element means that it will be extra good for the first portion of this fight. So we're going to go ahead and slag Pete here with Ruin and start working into his shield. As you can see, it does deal really good damage when I do get those critical hits, and that's why we went ahead and knocked off his face mask so that we would be able to get those critical hits. I'm also using a legendary Catcom to boost my SMG damage, and it has some other good DPS boosting skills as well, such as Reaper. And then I'm also using a Shock Bone of the Ancients to further boost my shock damage. So we've got a good portion of his shield knocked out now. I need to go ahead and switch to my Inflammable B shield because his next Nova is coming up very, very soon, probably right after this Glob stage. And then we're going to need to be a little bit careful about when we actually deplete his actual shield, because when you do that, he becomes Pyrocaustic Pete and lets loose a double element Nova. So we're definitely going to be on the lookout for that. There was his Flame Nova. And now we're going to go ahead and deplete his shield. He got a little bit weirdly converged there and turned around. Alright, so his shield's depleted. We're going to hide behind the scaffolding here so that we hopefully don't catch a damage over time. Now we're going to re-slag him and keep trying to get critical hits on him. Obviously we lose a bit of DPS when his shield goes down because we're no longer getting that shock damage bonus. We will need to be mindful of all of his Novas from here on in, because he's going to do double element Novas every time, because he is now Pyrocaustic Pete the Invincible. I don't need to use a transfusion grenade because it is a Moxxi weapon, and I'll be able to just recover my health that way, which is pretty nice. I haven't dropped any of my crits yet, I don't think, so that's also going pretty well. Oh, there was the first drop. Maybe we'll pick that crit up as we work our way around the arena. Another Nova may be coming up very soon, so we'll watch out for that. Jumping Pete. We're definitely going to avoid this Nova as well, via the scaffolding. Taking out a good chunk of his health right now. That's good stuff. Probably taking maybe about a third of his health, I would say. Pick up this because we're near it. That way, if we drop another, we'll still have that first one that we dropped back in our inventory. Not even our inventory, one of our 4 gun slots. So, I think I have 3 of my gun slots right now. I think I have only dropped 1, and then I picked it back up. Of my gun slots filled with the crit. That way, you know, even if I get real unlucky and lose 2 in a row, I'll still have 1 more. Definitely over halfway through the fight now, and we've lost the Reaper bonus, which obviously very negatively affects our DPS, but, you know, we're still doing pretty well. scaffolding this Nova here. We're definitely not going to run out of ammo in this fight. The critical hit damage modifier plus the B works out definitely very well in our favor. Alright, got under a third of his health left, I would say, so that's pretty good. Maybe just about a third, who knows. I guess someone with a ruler would know. Oops, dropped another crit there. Maybe I'll pick that up here in a second. Another Nova there. Pick the crit back up. Create some space between myself and Pete. He took my B shield down a little bit, so I'll have to wait till that comes back up. Pete took a little bit of break from the fight. I guess fighting this Moxxi weapon has discouraged him a little bit. He knows that even if he does damage to me, I'll recover it very easily with the crit. It'd actually be an interesting test to see if the healing factor on the crit would outweigh the damage over time, but we're not going to do that right now, even though I just mistakenly caught a Nova. I am going to have to go wash this off. That was kind of a shame. I was hoping to make it through the fight without catching a Nova, but Pete played a trick on me and he got me. As you can see, the crit healed me very, very quickly there. That's because it was healing based on the damage I was doing with the B shield there, which is obviously quite a bit of damage. His next Nova should be coming up any time now, so we're going to want to be careful and mindful of that. Alright, so he's got just a little bit of health left. I'd probably reckon that to be about 10% of his health. Pete, why you want to jump at me like that? When he runs at me arms down like that, that's a good time to get some damage on it. Because obviously when his arms cross in front of his face, it's impossible to hit a critical hit. So, maybe not impossible, but very, very unlikely. Another double element Nova. He's got just a little bit of health left, I'd say well under 5%, so maybe we'll be able to kill him in this cycle. Definitely. There we go. We knocked out Pyro Pete, the Ultra Invincible, using the crit. Now I noticed the crit often drops when you are reloading a little bit prematurely, as far as the magazine not being totally empty. So maybe that's something to watch out for if you are actually trying to use it, but I could be wrong on that. Maybe that was just a coincidence. Anywho, here's another quick look at the gear and loadout I used, or skill build rather. If you guys have any questions, be sure to leave it in the comments below, and I'll try to get back to you on that. Otherwise, as always, I thank you very much for watching, and if you haven't yet taken the time to subscribe, please do so. Otherwise, I hope to catch you next time. Bye, guys.